Because in the Christian tradition, women were not supposed to be equal to men. That influenced the legal system, constitutional system, state policy and franchise. Women as weaker sex was a Western idea. The freedom movement of India itself was fought in the name of a woman, Bharat Mata. Researches have been done about how Indian freedom movement evolved. And one such research is by the ecofeminists. Have you heard of ecofeminism? One Stefani Tavalama produced a paper about how in India there is a different perception about women. In England, in America, women got voting rights only in 1924. They were holding elections from 1779. Women got voting rights only in 1924. England was having elections for centuries. Women got voting rights only in 1926. In France and Germany, women got voting rights only in 1945. And in America, black women got voting rights only in 1940. Can anyone tell me, when did the Swiss women get voting rights? 1972. Till then, they didn't get voting rights. You know why? It is because in the Christian tradition, women were not supposed to be equal to men. That influenced the legal system, constitutional system, state policy and franchise. Women as weaker sex was a Western idea. So Stefani Tavalama compares the situation in India. In the year 1963, when the literacy rate in Uttar Pradesh was less than 30% and the literacy rate of women was less than 20%, Sucheta Kripalani became the chief minister of the largest state in India. Indira Gandhi became the prime minister in 1966. When the literacy rate in India was less than 45%. And there was no debate in India when we got freedom and then we brought in the constitution and adult franchise. Whether women should get voting rights or not was not at all debated. Stefani Tavalama spins all this and philosophizes. You know how it came. The freedom movement of India itself was fought in the name of a woman, Bharat Mata. A woman as an object of reverence is a speciality of India. I was in America in the year 2001. Because much of it is not in the Indian discourse, debate, Indian texts. It is not there, it is just absent. So I had gone to America, because I had gone to America several times, because I am basically interested in philosophy, religion, psychology, politics, economics. Unless you have a bird's eye view of all this, you know nothing about anything according to me. So I had taken 3 pictures of Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati. An audience, mixed audience, but largely American locals, whites. And I showed to them, this is Durga, this is Lakshmi, this is Saraswati. This is the goddess of power, this is the goddess of learning, this is the goddess of wealth. Their eyes popped out. Can God be women? Because their concept of God is man. And the most important thing, as Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, it is formless God but man. How can a formless God be man? These are all contradictions. Then I said, it is not only that our gods can be women, our women can be gods. Then I explained the concept of Kanya Puja, Suhasini Puja. Many of them wiped out their tears. here we are never looked at with respect or reverence. We are looked at only for our bodies. Openly the women told me that in that audience. We have no respect. There is no sense of reverence, motherhood. These are all great ideas. You have to transcend intellectualism to understand this. You have to move above logic to understand this. Why I am mentioning all this? That the rise of India means the rise of this understanding about life, human beings, genders. So Stephanie Tavalama concludes, because she also quotes a lot of researches done by the French people as to how not only India, which has still retained a large Hindu tradition, but take for instance Pakistan, take for instance Bangladesh. Women could rise in Bangladesh, women could rise in Pakistan, but they can't in France, they can't in Germany, still not in America. I will tell you a personal example. In 1993 when I was in America, a very good friend of mine by name his name is a feminine name, very good looking young man, a lawyer. So he was writing, his handwriting was beautiful. I said, Goff, your handwriting is beautiful. It's like a girl's handwriting. He took offense. How could you say my handwriting is a girl's handwriting? I said, in India it would be a compliment. Never do this mistake here. Never compliment a man that he is like this. We can't, we tolerate them. I was stunned. This is the extent of gender tension there. We don't understand any of these things. So, Stephanie Tavalama concluded, the idea that woman is a weaker sex is a Western idea, that woman is power is the Indian idea. Tell me, have you made Indian women understand this? Has any Indian woman done a research in this? That the Western women began fighting for rights because they were denied respect. I will tell you my experience. Once I was coming in the flight and I boarded the bus. One lady, middle-aged lady, about 35, 40, she came with 2 bags. I immediately got up and offered her the seat. Do you mean to say I am so weak? I was shocked. Everybody laughed at me like you are all laughing. I said, I am too weak to sit when you are standing. Then everybody laughed at her. How perversions can enter mind. That you respect a woman and she thinks, this is the westernization of the mind. There is no sensitiveness, there is no softness. It's all hard logic. It's all competition. It is all power play. This is the world. And this has produced an economic model, this has produced a political model, this has produced a savings model, this has produced an investment model. The society has been masculinized. There is no femininity in those societies. Femininity is the bedrock of softness. Indian economy, Indian society is basically feminine in character. In fact, I am not talking about this here. In the year 2005, in San Jose, I gave a lecture. It is still available on YouTube. Indian economy, feminine in character. This is the title.